今天在这边呢，我们就是举办一个华人见面会班，就是国会第三区这个 Robert Zimmerman。那他现在的呢就是国会议员就是Tom Scheuer。那这个区呢就是横跨很多的Bayside、Little Neck、Grand Neck， 还有我们长岛北边一直到52出口，全部都是他的区。那我相信呢，我们在这个区里面这么多的华人的人口在这边，我们需要有一个见面会，跟我们的候选人有一个直接的接触，告诉他们我们社区需要的是什么。我们希望他上任之后呢，可以提倡一些什么样的法案、一些的 policy， 可以帮助我们的社区这样子。那今天呢，有大几十人呢，目前预计有大几十人呢会来跟他见面的这些聊天这样子。
我们今天主要是在这边帮助那个 Robert Zimmerman， 他也是在参选这个选区的那个国会众议员。那我们想让他就是能够更加的了解我们的社区，了解我们社区的背景，所以我们今天举办的这个 Meet and Greet 见面会。所以他现在其实就在这里，他刚刚到达这边，所以我希望大家的注意，我们要增进对我们的所有的选区的议员的了解。对参选人了解，知道他们的理念，所以我们才可以知道可以去投谁的票，所以这一点非常的重要。这就是为什么我们今天好多人都到我们的社区都出来了。
Great, thank you for being here. It's a great opportunity to get together and talk about the future.
Well, they're gonna come up with a good supporter.
Okay.
They will stay for the food and wine, exactly.
Chen for organizing. What he said was a small gathering of a few of his friends. It's quite an enormous gathering. I'm grateful to everyone for being here. And also, we have the great City Councilwoman Sandra Ang. We'll be joined by Councilwoman Linda Lee as well. And I think with their presence and their engagement, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Come on, we're doing this over here.
Yeah, I'm here.
But what their presence represents, and the work of Congresswoman Mo Zhao Wen. How was that? I got that right. Mo Zhao Wen. I get credit for trying, But for work of Congresswoman Mo Zhao Wen and of course Councilwoman Linda Lee and Sandra Ang, what they represent is like a government can make a difference for people's lives, can make a difference in their communities. My first job in political activism was working on Bella Boulevard for Congressman Lester Wolff. And I saw there firsthand how important a job of a Congress member can be, helping people through difficult times. So as a member of Congress, I'm given the privilege to serve, my district's going to represent this district. I'm going to have people representing the Korean community, the Chinese community, staff members representing these communities, and of course the South Asian community as well. Because we have to be there with multiple languages and be able to speak to them in their terms so we can help solve their problems. I think that's going to be essential. And we have real challenges ahead of us, but great opportunities to succeed. That's why I'm advocating fully funded public education and to get rid of this lottery in their neighborhoods. I'm certainly going to be a strong advocate for standing up for making sure that in our schools we teach our history. Because when we learn the history of the AAPI community, we realize that no one's the other, but we're all together. And the history of the AAPI community is so profoundly important and so inspirational to all of us. Growing up as a member of the Jewish community, I've learned early on how much we all have in common and how we have to stay together and united, especially as we confront the issue of hate crimes that are spreading as an epidemic throughout the city and many parts of the country. And we're only going to succeed by uniting together, making sure that our police have the proper funding and the support to address hate crimes, that our federal government, in fact, is keeping proper records of where they're taking place so there's accountability. All of that's going to be so significant and so defining in terms of what we think we can do as a Congress, what we can do as a country, in terms of bringing us together, standing up to hate crimes, standing up for education, standing up to unite us. And I've got great role models from that experience. And Councilwoman Sandra Ang, Councilwoman Linda Lee, and
Who is just right here?
She's just right. Hey, come on in. Let's go inside. Great sake, great food, and a lot more conversation, okay?
One more picture.
Okay, great.
So that's why they meet me Okay, ready? Are you ready?
如果肚子饿的话，可以去喝一点东西，还有吃点东西啊。
这三个美女抢照啊！
我天哪！
你介绍一下这个人吧。
你可以读读我们以往的文章，写过他好多遍。
看这边，高脚。
好，我们准备开始了，大家有吃有喝的可以继续，没关系，可以继续吃，继续喝，好吗？We're about getting started. If you're drinking and eating right now, keep eating and drinking. Enjoy the wine, enjoy the sake, enjoy the sushi. First of all, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Tonight we're hosting a meet and greet event for Robert Zimmerman. We all know that he's running for Congress member for representing District 3 over here, representing Little Neck, Great Neck, Darlaston, and all the way the north side of Lao and all the way till about exit 52. I believe, and you know we have huge population of Asian voters and Chinese voters are living in the district. So it is a very good opportunity that we all meet in person with Robert, talking about the issues that we care, or the what kind of future that we all going to build together in the future. So before we really bring out Robert Zimmerman, that I would like to introduce. Most of us we know already. The council member of District 20, representing Flushing, Murray Hill, Linda He, Sandra Ang.
Good evening, everybody. As Andy said, I'm the New York City Councilwoman for District 20. I'm not here, a little bit over, and I'm really so happy tonight to be here with Robert Zimmerman, who's been such a long-time friend of me and also a long-time friend of this community. I remember when I was first running for office, he was one of the first people I reached out to because he also understands our community so well, and I have many long conversations with him about the issues that's facing our community, such as public safety, education, and hate crimes. We have a great leader in Congresswoman Grace Meng, but she also needs great allies. And I know for a fact that Robert will be an ally for our Asian American community. And I also want to add, I have talked a lot since I've been running about how important it is for Asian Americans to come out and vote, even when someone isn't Asian American. And I know this district, there isn't an Asian American person running. However, we need to show our voice, our support for an ally such as Robert Zimmerman. So I encourage you all today, since he's here with all of us, to talk, to ask him questions. And you know what? We need your support, we need your help, and that's why the Congresswoman Grace Meng, City Councilman Linda Lee, and I are here supporting him. Thank you.
大家好，我就简单的刚才翻译一下这个黄敏仪我们法华盛市议员大概讲的，他就是说他讲的他为什么支持这个国会议员支持这个，因为国会议员的选区差不多是在长岛的 Nassau County 跟那个我们的 Queens Great Neck、Little Neck 还有这一些北边的地方。然后今天他也是很高兴跟他的同事 Linda Lee 就是都一起过来，跟他还有我们的Graceman 国会议员都支持他，所以他今天非常高兴的看到大家过来支持。虽然他不是一个 OK 我们亚裔的这个候选人，但是因为他的理念跟我们相同，我们也应该去支持他。所以谢谢。
And I have to say that when I first met Robert, I really impressed by how many people that pass by when we're having a iced coffee literally down the block. Everybody know him. That way we can really tell that he well known by the community. Everybody know Robert, not just because he running for office. Know him as, he already have really long history of working inside the government and being in the community. That's someone we need to support. And he supports a lot of the policy that we as an Asian American that really do care about the education, the specialized high school, the public safety, and fighting against the hate crime to Asian community and every community. I think those are the top few issues that we all as an Asian American that do care about. So next, I would like to bring out the council member and first Korean American woman elected to City Council last year, Linda Lee.
Thank you. Hi everyone, thank you so much for putting this together. We have two amazing people in the community that have been advocates and strong advocates for the Asian community. So my name is Linda Lee. I am the City Council member in District 23, which is just on the other side of the Long Island Queens border, right? So Robert actually covers part of my city council district. So and I don't know if you guys knew, but for me, before I joined city council, I'm a social worker and I was running KCS, Korean Community Services, and we provided a lot of social services in Queens to the Korean and Chinese community, especially with Meals on Wheels and the senior center programs. And one thing that Robert and I talked about, which is very much not discussed, is the topic and the importance of mental health in our community. Something that is very near and dear to my heart because I have close family members and friends that suffer from severe mental health, one of whom we almost lost last year. And it is something that is not talked about enough. And I think from the federal level to the state to the city, there's a lot more we need to do around mental health issues in our community. And so I'm looking forward to partnering with you on that from the federal level. And in general, I think you have become such a strong advocate for our community because if you don't, I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say this, but I always say something a little inappropriate. Okay. But you being someone who has been a strong advocate for the LGBT community from a very, very early on stage, you understand what it means to protect those that are in marginalized communities. And right now, in the Asian community, because of the hate crimes and everything we're facing, you've been such a strong ally, and I appreciate that so much because you understand what it means to stand up and be a voice for people that have no voice. So I just want to thank you so much, and we are here to support you however you may need. And so thank you so much, and we look forward to August 23rd.
我就简单说一下，有史以来第一位韩裔的市议员候选人，他名字叫Linda Lee， 所以他今天讲呢，就是为什么他要支持这个Robert Zimmerman 我们的国会议员的参选人，因为他的选区部分也包括这个国会议员的这个选区，然后他要大家积极的出来投票支持对的人，因为他看到这个Robert 经常的在我们的社区里面。每一个角度，所有的人都支持他，所以他是肯定是能够赢的，而且他在联邦的层面也会为我们的亚裔去发声，这个是最重要的。 我们要选一个会支持我们亚裔、会帮助我们亚裔、也会为我们发声的人。所以今天Linda 讲的重点，所以 Linda 呢也是在我们法华盛旁边的这个新鲜草原啊，这个市议员离我们非常的近，所以大家如果有在那边的话，明年也希望他能够支持他。谢谢。
Okay, before I really bring out Robert, the candidate of Congressional District 3, I'd like to, before I forgot, I'd like to thank every single one of you attending this event, and a lot of parents over here, young professionals, the resident of Congressional 3, and we have many even including Winnie and Emma, which is, last couple of weeks that we fighting for the bullying and discrimination at school. This is why it's so important that we need to have all these parents, local business owners, young professionals to express our concern to every candidate and elected officials and telling them this is what we need. We're willing to work together with you to address all those issues. And I often tell every person that I meet, by supporting each candidate, it's not their job, but it's our job. Who do we want to see in that position to representing all our futures? Because they are so brave enough step forward to running for office. And even Hailing and myself, we ran for city council last year. We know it's very difficult. It's not an easy job that running for public office. But because of that responsibility, that commitment, the future we all want to build, but we take that route running for public office. So next, we have to do our job, really coming out August 23rd, to vote for Robert Zimmerman, so he can be that Congress member in District 3 fighting for all our futures. We need to put it in our mind, it's not just Robert's job, it's all our job by electing the best candidate and representing our district. So now, let me bring it out, the candidate of Congressional 3, Robert Zimmerman!
Thank you. First, let's give it up for Andy Chen for putting this great event together. Wow. He says to me, I'm gonna have a couple of my friends come out and meet you tonight. This is quite a gathering for a couple of friends. This is really fantastic. What a great turnout, great response, and I'm honored by your presence. I'm also honored to be joined by two great city council members who set the standard for public service in the New York City Council. I'm talking about Councilwoman Sandra Ung and Councilwoman Linda Lee. Let's hear it for them. Also, I'm so proud to be here because this event's taking place in my hometown, in one of our great, great restaurants, Soku. Let's hear it for Soku. This man over here has been such a great leader in terms of bringing people together in our community, educating so many people, helping to bring the Chinese community into the forefront, because he has been so important in terms of educating and teaching so many people, in terms of uniting us. This is the man, Kevin Sun of the Chinese American Association. We're so grateful for Kevin. So grateful for him. And really what tonight is about is how we work together, how we build together a better community, a more cohesive community, so we stand up for each other. Because we've learned all too often the hard way that when we face issues that threaten our public safety, we face issues involving mental health, we face issues involving hate crimes and harassment. When one community is impacted, we're all compacted. So we have to be together on this. We have to stand together, because together we're going to move each other forward. And I have to say, I have to give such enormous credit to Andy, to Kevin, and to the council members, because the work they have done in terms of really leading the way and standing up to hate crimes and bias incidents that really are threatening to all of us has really been a standard for not just New York City, but what the country should be doing. I've learned so much from them, and I think it's important to remember, as we're moving forward as a community, it's so important to remember that we can really make a difference in people's lives. That's what government's all about. certainly when you talked about mental health, I understood what it was like growing up as a child who was feeling isolated and alienated in society. And I understood the pressures I felt as a young gay kid. But political activism, it gave me a voice, it gave me a purpose. My first job was on Bell Boulevard, working for Congressman Lester Wolff in Queens. From there I went to Capitol Hill, came home, and I built my business. I've been a small business owner for 33 years. And like so many of you who are in small business and are looking to be in small business, you understand what's at stake. Because when you have owned a small business, you're the last one to be paid. Your first job is taking care of your people. That's why we always made sure our team had health care coverage and had support for their work. And I want to make sure as a member of Congress, I can do that for other small businesses. It's going to be critical. It's going to be essential that we stand together supporting fully funded education. It's long past due that it get done. And we stand up not to limit, but to expand gifted and talented programs. That's the future. That's why we enhance it. And I'm standing with you on that because I think it's so important. And when it comes to public safety, you're going to have in me, because it's been my life's work, to stand up against gun violence, to stand up for much stricter gun safety legislation. And that's essential, and we're going to make progress on that because we have great local support to get that done. And we represent the majority of the country on that issue. Likewise, I think it's very important to see that we have to, in fact, roll back the bail reform. I give Governor Hochul a lot of credit for the steps she's taken to have much tougher and stricter bail reform laws put in place. There's more we need to do. But most of all, I take an important lesson from Congresswoman Mo Wang. How was that, by the way? I practiced that. That was pretty. Anthony, that wasn't bad. Decent. But Congresswoman Mo Wang, Congresswoman Grace Meng, has been a role model, inspiration, and I'm so honored to have her endorsement, as I have to have yours as well. And what we learned is that through education, by making sure we teach AAPI history in our schools, we break down the barriers. People cease being the other, and they all become our neighbors. And I think she has been making sure that the steps she's taking to make sure that the federal government takes an important leadership role in addressing hate crimes and bias incidents. These are steps that a member of Congress can take, but she can't do it alone. She needs partners. So I'm going there proudly to be her partner as a member of Congress. I'm going there proudly to stand with all of you from the small business community, for the education community, for the public safety community. I'm going there so that I can work with Andy Chen, Kevin Sun, Linda Lee, and Sandra Ung, because together we have a great future ahead of us. Don't get discouraged. I know sometimes it's frustrating news, but we've faced much greater challenges. We've come out ahead because we believe in ourselves and we help each other. That's what I represent in Congress. That's what I'm fighting for. Thank you all for being here. God bless you. I'm so honored and grateful.
Robert 就简单的讲呢，我就跟大家重复一遍，总结一下，简单的讲，他支持我们的特殊高中，然后扩展我们的天才班，他也支持我们的社区的治安，以及呢所有的我们的仇视罪，以及关于我们对我们所有亚裔跟华裔社区的这些的攻击。所以说这是一位呢我们需要的一位候选人，简单的支持我们作为华裔在这边呢一些简单的一些的政见，可以保护到我们每一位的人。所以我刚刚讲的，我们今天呢支持哪一位候选人，并不是说只是他们的责任，是我们在座每一位的责任呢。我们要选一位真正的可以保护到我们社区每一位的人。不管我们今天有学生在学校里面被歧视、被霸凌，我们有作为小商家的被无理的政府部门呢被罚款，或者任何的这些的问题呢，我们需不需要有一位更有胆量、跟我们这些政策接近的一位的候选人去帮我们去争取？所以这时候就讲到说，我们不要等到说问题发生的时候，再跟我们的市议员、州议员以及我们国会议员讲，我们需要帮忙。如果说今天我们没有融入社区呢，没有融入这个过程当中呢，我们就没有那么足的勇气，是不是去抱怨？我们不要等到问题出现了再去寻求，我们现在就要开始呢。那接下来非常重要的就是第3区的国会议员就是8月23号是初选日，那提早投票呢就是8月13号到8月21号。所以说今天晚上呢，你们在座每一位呢都有一个我们的作业要做。 等一会儿呢跟我们的 Robert 照一张照片，回去呢就跟我们的亲戚朋友所有人讲，今天呢我跟这位候选人见过面了，我支持他的某一个的政策。我希望你们住在呢国会第3区的，接下来在8月23号呢可以出来投他一票，因为呢每一个人呢说出来投一票，我们跟100个人讲，我们就有100票出来，而且每一个呢竞选呢都是差距最后都是很小的，所以今年我们要看到6月份的初选，有一些的区呢差距是非常的小，所以真的每一票呢都是非常重要的啊。I just briefly translate.
By the way, I don't know how Andy remembered. I don't know how Andy remembered everything I just said. It sounded much better coming from him. After all, how often do you get interpreted by the future U.S. Senator here? Let me tell you. Also, I do want to point out we have a special guest who's just arrived. A future judge is in the house, Karen Lynn.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so honored and privileged to be here. You know, if you go back to your social studies class and you learned about the 3 branches of government, one of the most important branches is the legislative branch. And it is so important to have candidates who are going to be representing us in DC, who understand the issues of our community, who understand how important it is to protect the rights that we have. And so it's just a privilege to be here, Robert.
Thank you. Kevin Lin 呢，林凯伦就是我们今年6月份刚刚帮助他选上我们这个皇后区民事法官的4个人里面呢，他一个人就赢了超过40%的票，所以这个呢就是我们所有华人的力量。我们需要更多的华裔呢，在每一个阶层，也需要更多我们的华裔呢，在成为民事法官、最高法院的法官。那我知道呢，现在还不能讲，明年我们也有更多的我们华裔出来竞选我们的皇后区的民事的法官，大家到时候看我朋友圈就知道了。好。So next, I would like to bring out Kevin Sun.
Hi everyone, I'm local. I'm from Great Neck. The Chinese community started to grow about 30 years ago in Great Neck, and Robert has been an instrumental figure in this community. He has been helping us grow, helping us get accustomed to the society, and help us with all kinds of our needs. Last year, he was here joining us for the anti-Asian hate. Last year, he also helped us to connect with the local hospital, North Shore Hospital, because we have a strong need for our community to go into the hospital, and the hospital provided a service. So I'm so proud to announce that because of Robert's help, the North Shore Hospital here in Long Island provides Chinese food for in-house patients. Also, just for the advertisement for the North Shore Hospital, the maternity ward, they provide a congee with ginger. So it's a Chinese 月子餐 here for the pregnant lady to deliver their baby. So Robert has been here for a long time, and he has been instrumental in helping us. We can see everything he has been doing. It would be great for all of us to support him, because his track record says everything about him. He will be a fantastic councilman. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Joey Low, he always stays so low-key and style behind the scene. Joey Low is the board member of Global Community Center and also the acting president of Flushing United, and also the advisor for self-help and community. We call him community godfather. Joey Low.
Thank you so much. Actually, I know Kevin for a long time, and I'm a member of the Great Neck Chinese Association before, so so you get some vote, at least 10. All right?
That works. That works.
Because I got family member around, so you'll get it. And also, I already got one for you. They just make me a copy of it. Very happy to see so many people that, and also I heard about a lot of good things about Robert. And the other good friend of mine, Mimi, he told me that feel free to post Robert stuff in her group. So I did it, and we have a lot of friends that they know about you, and I heard about a lot of good things that how you help our community. And one more thing, I think maybe we need your help once you get into the congressman. And one more thing is all our Chinese community more concerned about U.S. and China relationship, and this is most important also. So very lucky to see you, and then we'll get together, we'll work it out, and I hope you get it. Okay, thank you.
And next, we have the chairman from Fujian Association, 张朗来。那我们的美国福建同乡会的主席也过来跟我们讲几句话，好吗？
我去讲国语的，等一下Eddie翻译。我非常荣幸。
Before he speak, he sent his son and daughter to be volunteer of your campaign.
Thank you.
非常荣幸，今天的 Eddie 和海玲都是我们的华人的精英，能邀请到我们 Green Lake， 这个我们就是支持我们的 Robert Zimmerman， 我非常很荣幸。我今天代表我美国福建同乡会主席及全体同仁，我在这里电视台这个记者都是我们的华人的这个非常多的，就像 Green Lake 这里我们有很多华人，通过媒体我们出来支持 Robert。以后的话就是说，就是 Robert 选上的时候，一定要我们华人社区做出更大的努力。今天的这个记者会非常隆重，这么多都是华人，我代表在座的我们华人区的，你看都是我们的中国人，我们支持 Robert 肯定会赢的。我相信你以后选上的时候，一定会我们为华人社区，也为 Green Lake 社区，也为我们的华人做出更大的贡献。我会一定支持你们，谢谢，谢谢大家。
Just excuse a little bit. Fujian Association been founded for 80 years already. It's a privacy from southern of China that we have little over 1.3 million population here across whole United States. And we also, when we ran last year for city council, that's why people wondering why Fujian community that has such huge power of getting people together and fundraising. I was like, look, if every single person from Fujian donated 10 cents to me, I already have 130 grants already. So I think this is very important that we working with every community to bring the power together to supporting each candidate elected officials in office, so we can work together to bring funding for the other communities. So next I'd like to bring out is the President of AAC, Asian American, yellow uniform in flashing and patrolling the community, protecting people. That's from him. That's from his group. Every day we have, I would say, roughly 30-40 people out there every day, ever since pandemic, to protecting all those small business owners and residents in Flushing, so they can safely feel safe going out their daily job and going shopping for groceries.
So 现在我们有请 AAC 的主席过来讲几句话。
And he is also your bonus.
Actually, I'm a local too. So I have my family like 5 votes for you. But I don't know. It's going to be general election because they registered for the Republican whatever. But for me, I'm not free. I can ask many of the people to support you, but I know him just through Central Wall, and then we've been like cooperated together for the AAC. Our members everywhere in Flushing there, and I got an inquiry from Long Island too. But we have limited people and limited ability. But I think the most important is the vote. The vote is all about the idea. So I think the Robert's idea just same as our community, same as our people here. So we should have some support from here and everywhere in my my town here to get supporters. So good luck for you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for the moment.
But God, also I would like to thank all the medias here from Xinjiang News, World Journal, U.S. China Press, 高伟伟 Louis, 美师姐，以我们苏清芳，还有我们另外一位教授。We have about 9 medias here tonight, really to letting everybody know out there that Robert is a great candidate of Congressional 3. So thank you all of you.
Thank you.
Let us enjoy all the foods and drinks and the sake, and let us meet with Robert. Feel free to ask Robert any questions. Of course, you can still ask some questions from Sandra and Linda Lee, but can we ask more questions from Robert tonight? All right. And next person I would like to bring out is Winnie. If you guys pay attention to my social media a couple of weeks ago, that's the brave mom that really stood out for Emma, who facing bullying, discrimination at school. That she is really great enough and call me and Henry here and say, you know what, we need to seek justice for Emma, and we need an answer, and we need to protect every kids in the school, make sure there's no bullying, no discrimination at school. So, she's really been a big advocate and representative for all the public school parents here in school district 25 and 26. Because I know Robert, Sandra, and Linda here really overlap a lot of the school district 25, 26. So it's very important that we talk about all the issues that in school and about educations. Winnie?
那现在我们邀请这个非常伟大的母亲维尼过来，她的女儿 Emma， 最近才在学校里面受到了欺凌，然后她非常的勇敢，调动我们社区的所有的力量，经过我们的帮忙，能够争取她的权益，所以我们也请她讲两句话，谢谢。
And Hailing for the opportunity to come over here to support. And I'm trying to be a brave mom, so I'm trying to get my daughter to be brave as well. I believe we're not the first one got bullied in school, and we're not the last one as well. So we just need to speak up and stand up and do something for ourselves, for Asian communities. Thank you again. All right.
Thank you.
They've been so supportive. They already blast all their information about Robert's campaign all over WeChat group to all their public school parents. And this is a brave mom that we need to show example to all our younger generation that if anything happens, we're standing up for our kids. We let them know what's the right thing to do, that we do not stand back against bullying and discrimination. I think this is the right thing to do, and this is the right way to do. We shouldn't be ashamed of all the difficulty that we're facing. We're fighting back and we're standing up. Thank you, Winnie.
And I think that's why the Robert is saying that we need to have Asian American history written in our history textbook. That's what we are fighting for. That's why we elected Robert Zimmerman to our federal government, so he's able to stand for us, to be a partner for us. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. We are so happy that I have our. Let me tell you a little bit history about the Chinese or Asian American in Great Neck, about the how they get involved for public service. Jeff C. He is the vice president right now, right? Vice president for the education, the BOE, Borough of Education. Yeah. 4 years ago, he beat the record about the people who vote for him. I think I remember that you got like 6,000 votes, isn't it? Something like that. All right. So he is the one to make all the Asian and all the residents here to get hit. So you got him.
He's awesome. I know that. I worked for this campaign.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to see all the people coming out here. And it is congressmen that serving our community. And it is very important that he come into the Chinese community, hear what's what is important to us. Just like as a trustee, I like to hear Chinese community. We are very high on educations and immigrants. It's very strong on education, and for the kids, you just think, they come into this world, they're like immigrants, they need all the help and support and protections. So we really need an official that oversee a wide swath of Long Island and Queens to really coming out and support our community. And I have been Mr. Zimmerman for a long time, and actually he works for the school district of Great Neck, and here I'm as an individual. Just like every one of you here, try to support our community and let the public choose the best leader representing us going forward. So good luck to you, Robert, and I really thank you for coming out and running for the community. We need cohesion, like my friend Yi Ping named his charity events, support the wide Flushing community, and we really have strong leaders throughout this community, including Anna Kaplan, Grace Munn, and we push certain agendas. Like me, but most importantly, I just have to say, all the volunteers who are here, most of us are volunteers. Who's getting paid $1 million to do this job? Not really. But it's important we all come out, support a common cause, and I think for Asian America, it's important for us to speak out and find the leadership that represents not just our interest, but the interest of the entire community. So I think Robert is a great citizen coming from Great Neck. We are very proud he's running for this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I want to leave some time, free time for everyone to meet with Robert and asking some questions. Before that, do we have any questions from the media? 有没有任何的问题想要问 Robert 的？有没有？好，等一下我们可以私下问啊。And also we want to thank a lot of community leaders like Emma Chowdhury, Richard Lee, Evelyn Gunn, Tom Yang, they're all the way in the room there, and a lot of young professionals and business owners and community activists that really join in tonight make this happen. And also next round, anyone want to speak few words or any questions?
Yes, so I know you're running for Congress, and some of your colleagues, such as Bernie Sanders for Democrat, spoke about free higher educations for our people. Me as an Asian person, I know that a lot of us put an emphasis on our children's education, especially higher education, because that's our way of moving up in the world. So my question is for you is, a lot of my colleagues, when I go to CUNY, Hunter College for human biology, a lot of my colleagues have problems, financial problems of paying for higher education. So what will you do in Congress to protect us, the future of America, to receive higher education for less cost, well, little to no cost, so we can become better and provide more for our society?
Be very clear with you. That question defines the future for our country in so many ways. That's why I've been a strong advocate for free community colleges and for free trade schools. That's why I've been very aggressively speaking out on the issue of alleviating the burden of so many people suffering from student loan debt. I mean, the idea that, first of all, the federal government should not be charging interest on student loan debts, number one. Secondly, anyone to me who has a student loan debt of $50,000 or under should be alleviated of that debt. Because when we alleviate student loan debt and make it easier for young people to go to college and higher education, we build our economy. We help people start their families, help them go back, we help them build their careers. That's better for our communities and for our country. It's better for our lives. So that's why I think there are many steps we can take. And that includes, as I mentioned before, free community colleges, making sure we have free trade schools, alleviating student loan debt. I think $50,000 immediate. We can do that immediately, and we should. And we've got to make sure there are more Pell Grants and more grants available so young people can apply and receive better scholarship services. And I think we can also begin that process in the city of New York. by expanding the programs for gifted and talented young people. I think that's essential. And by getting rid of this lottery system that is so unfair for so many families, it takes them away from their communities and their neighborhoods. So I think we have great opportunities, but you're right. The key to the path for building the middle class, for building a future for young people, begins with education. It continues with equal opportunity. It includes inclusion. It begins with standing with our labor unions, because unions play a pivotal role there too, and enhancing our small businesses. I can tell you, for me as a small business owner, I can tell you, small businesses are the key to America's business future. So I'm proud to answer that question. I think you raised an important point.
Thank you.
那我现在简单的翻译一下，我们刚才这位先生他提出了一个关于这个可负担的学费的这个问题，然后问我们国会议员的参选人 Robert， 怎么样子解决，怎么样子能够让我们的大学能够减轻负担，学生减轻负担。他说他主要有2点，第一点，首先我们要让学费的那利息消除掉。第二点，所有5万块钱以下的所有的贷款全部都要免除掉，因为每一个孩子的成功就是我们国家的未来，我们的国家的未来，我们才可以走向一个更好的一个道路。所以他就是在我们联邦政府层面会帮我们去发声，也会让我们的大学生能够感觉我们的大学能够 affordable。所以我们今天的选择是正确的，我们选择未来。While we invest in our future, we invest in our future councilmen, future congressmen. Thank you very much.
I think that's one of the things that we usually say before we get into politics. We didn't know what to talk about, but once we get into politics, we do not let the mic go. Right? We talk so much, so we try to save some time, free time for Robert to meet with everyone and asking questions. So before we do that, I'd like to remind everyone again: the primary will be August 23rd. The early voting will start August 13th to 21st. So we don't have to wait all the way till 23rd to vote. We can take the opportunity of early voting from 18 to 21st, right? 13.
Early voting? 13.
Okay. So we can take the opportunity to vote early. And tonight, like I said before, you all have a homework tonight. Take a picture with Robert. Put it on your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WeChat, everywhere. Letting people know that you're meeting with Robert tonight and you supporting Robert and sharing with all your friends and family to do the same. So one leading by one, we share with 10 people out there, another 10 people sharing with another 10 people there. So we'll have 100 supporters out there, right? So before we letting Robert meeting everyone there and asking questions, can we have a group pictures?
Yes， 那我们现在我们照一个那个集体的照，还有 Andy 刚才也提醒一下大家，8月29号是投票日，但是在8月23号之前，我们就可以提前投票。8月13号到8月19号，大家能去投票的，尽量的去投票，1乘10， 10乘100，我们的力量就体现出来了。We have Robert have the Asian vote. All right.
Thank you.
For female reproductive rights are under attack by Roe versus Wade. How will you as a congressman fight for women reproductive rights for everyone here in America?
Look at one of the principal platforms in my campaign for Congress. It's protecting a woman's right to have reproductive freedom, to make their own decisions about their own body, and protect their right to a safe and legal abortion. It's between a doctor and the woman and her questions. It is not an issue that should be addressed. It is egregious what the Supreme Court did, overturning 50 years of law, 50 years of precedent, is an affront to women, it's an affront to the Constitution, and we're going to make sure when I'm in Congress, we have more Democrats in Congress, we're going to make sure that we codify Roe v. Wade so it becomes the law of the land and the courts can't take it away. That's going to be essential. Thank you.
Thank you.
So can we have everyone come out to this side? Let's do a group picture. And also, if you want to sign out as a volunteer for Robert's team, you can sign out over here. There's a form right there. Or if you want to contribute some donations to Robert's team, feel to do that too. Or either voting for Robert, so do at least one of them, right? Do at least one of them.
Before we depart, can I just say one more time? Let's give it up for Andy Chen.
We also chanting for Robert, 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 Robert.
所以刚才你讲的就是，你如果想要为他做那个义工的话，就在那个义工表上，其实填上你的名字。如果你想要为他捐款，你可以帮他捐款。如果你什么都不能做，你也可以为他投票，也可以为他拉票，1乘10，10乘100，我们的票数就更多了，他就更有机会代表我们在联邦层面为我们发声。
好，我们所有后面的人出来，我们照一个集体照，好吗？ Can we have everyone back there? We probably still have like 50 people back there. Can you all come out? Let's take a group pictures.
来，你大家后面的都过来，到我们前面来，我们拍一个集体照，往这边，往这边，过来到我们这边。
等一下啊，他们拍完我才拍啊。来，拍完先。
大家在后面的全部过来出来，大家。
Okay, no problem. Great. Thank you again for being here. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Very honored by your presence. Thank you so much.
Ah, 紧密团结。哇，太 good。
我们明天的时间。
我知道没问题，反正你扩上去的。
帮每一个人呢有